Today's update goes straight to the heart of what millions of seniors and disability beneficiaries have been waiting to hear. A major payment reset has been activated for SSI and SSDI recipients across the United States, and this fixed increase is being described as one of the most important adjustments in years. Many older adults, veterans, and disabled citizens have spent months wondering when their benefits would finally rise in a way that keeps up with higher living costs. Now that this reset is officially in motion, the change is not only bringing larger payments, but also signaling a long-term correction that could reshape how Social Security distributes monthly benefits. This change is not a temporary boost or one-time relief payment. It is a structural update designed to rebalance the way SSI and SSDI benefits are calculated every month. For years, people living on fixed incomes have faced the same struggle. Grocery prices go up, rent climbs, utilities increase, but their Social Security checks barely move. The new reset aims to fix that imbalance by permanently adjusting the base payment structure. It means beneficiaries will no longer depend solely on yearly cost of living adjustments, but will instead see a built-in increase that keeps benefits at a fair level month after month. The Social Security Administration has confirmed that the reset was developed to protect people who rely almost entirely on their federal income. Those receiving SSI and SSDI have been the most vulnerable to inflation because their payments often cover essentials like housing, food, and medication. The new formula now accounts for these real-world expenses in a stronger way, offering a safety margin that had been missing for decades. It is being implemented through a fixed increase mechanism that automatically recalculates benefits starting from the new baseline amount. For seniors and disabled individuals who have been waiting for change, this marks a turning point. It is not just a number on paper, it's an acknowledgement of how difficult the last few years have been. Between rising healthcare costs, record inflation, and unpredictable expenses, many Americans found themselves using credit cards or skipping necessities to survive. The reset brings long overdue relief by setting a higher foundation for benefits, giving people more confidence that they can afford daily life with dignity and stability. The payment reset includes a structured correction across multiple categories. SSI recipients, those with limited income and resources, will notice a base adjustment that slightly lifts their monthly minimum. For SSDI beneficiaries, those receiving disability insurance based on work history, the fixed increase will show up in the recalculated monthly rate that begins with their next payment cycle. What makes this reset so important is that both programs will now share a consistent adjustment method that keeps them aligned, preventing the gap between them from widening again. Many advocates have spent years pushing for this change. They argued that inflation adjustments alone were not enough because they were calculated only once a year and often lagged behind real-time prices. By the time the annual increase took effect, seniors had already spent months paying higher costs without additional support. The fixed increase system solves that delay by automatically factoring inflation and cost pressure indicators into regular payment calculations. It means that beneficiaries will no longer have to wait until next January or October to feel relief. The update is already active. What this means in practical terms is stability. When a senior plans their monthly expenses now, they will see that the amount coming in is more reliable and reflective of current needs. This change gives people room to breathe. For someone who receives SSI, even a modest permanent increase can cover essential medications, a small rent hike, or an extra grocery trip each month. For SSDI beneficiaries, the larger adjustment helps offset higher insurance copays, transportation costs, or adaptive equipment expenses. Every dollar added through the reset strengthens financial independence and reduces reliance on credit or family help. Behind the scenes, this reset also reflects the government's broader plan to modernize the Social Security system. Over the past year, policymakers and agency experts have been studying how to make the system more responsive and fair. The reset is the first visible step in that direction, ensuring that vulnerable Americans are not left behind in an economy that changes faster than benefit formulas used to. It uses updated data, smarter tracking of living cost trends, and automated calculations that can react faster than the old manual methods. Seniors and advocates have welcomed this move because it recognizes something they have been saying for years. Survival on fixed income requires real-time support, not delayed promises. This new model sets a precedent that future administrations will likely continue because once the reset is in place, it becomes a permanent part of how Social Security functions. The goal is to make the safety net more automatic, less political, and more focused on people's actual daily needs. Over the next few months, beneficiaries will notice clearer statements showing their updated amounts. The Social Security Administration has already started recalculating accounts, and the first wave of increased payments is being distributed on the regular calendar according to each person's birth date. The transition is automatic, meaning recipients do not need to apply or submit any forms. If you are currently receiving SSI or SSDI, your payment reset will occur naturally as part of your scheduled deposit cycle. The reset is also expected to impact future cost of living adjustments. Because the new baseline is higher, future COLA increases will build on a stronger foundation. This compounding effect means that the benefits people receive today will continue to grow at a healthier pace year after year. It's a design that finally prevents stagnation and makes the entire system more fair and forward-looking. Financial experts have called this change a correction of the century because it restores parity between benefits and the true cost of daily life. For too long, seniors have been asked to stretch small checks across big bills. This fixed increase represents a national recognition that living with dignity should not depend on luck or charity. It's about fairness, balance, and responsibility, values that define the Social Security promise. The government's commitment to implementing this change shows a new level of seriousness in addressing economic inequality. Instead of offering short-term stimulus checks or temporary credits, the focus is now on long-term correction. The fixed increase reset is a permanent tool designed to keep benefits alive, relevant, and effective. It ensures that the next generation of retirees and disabled Americans will inherit a stronger, more adaptive Social Security system. This first phase of the reset has already begun, and early reports suggest that beneficiaries are noticing the difference. Deposits appear slightly higher, statements list adjusted base rates, and future projections show steady growth. The relief is real, and it's visible in households across the country. For many, it means fewer compromises between food and medicine, fewer skipped bills, and a greater sense of control. The update also affects how back payments and corrections are processed. Under the new system, any missed or miscalculated payments will be recalculated using the fixed increase formula, ensuring fairness even in past months. That means beneficiaries who experienced underpayment issues in recent quarters may see retroactive adjustments added to their accounts automatically. It's another way the reset protects people from financial mistakes or delays that previously went unresolved. Economically, this move will inject billions back into local communities. When seniors have more money, they spend it locally at grocery stores, pharmacies, and small businesses. This spending power strengthens the economy from the ground up, turning financial support into real-world activity. It's one of the reasons lawmakers supported the change. It benefits individuals and the nation simultaneously. Socially, the reset brings hope. For too long, SSI and SSDI recipients have been left behind in national discussions about recovery and growth. They often hear about corporate profits or wage increases that never reach their communities. This reform finally includes them in the conversation, proving that their well-being matters. It restores faith that the system is listening and adapting to real people's needs. For millions of Americans, this reset is already producing results. Early recipients are seeing noticeable increases in their deposits. SSI beneficiaries, who are among the lowest income recipients, have received some of the largest proportional adjustments. The increase might seem modest to some, but for those who depend on every single dollar, even a small change can mean the difference between struggling and surviving. Some people have described it as a long-awaited breath of relief after years of barely getting by. The fixed increase also improves the fairness of disability payments. SSDI recipients have often faced challenges because their benefits were calculated using older wage averages that didn't reflect today's reality. The reset modernizes those figures and corrects historical imbalances and allows people to cover essential expenses without constant worry. It's a step toward financial dignity for every person who has contributed to this country and now depends on the promise of stability. The emotional impact of this change cannot be overstated. Countless Americans have spent years writing letters, calling representatives, and sharing their struggles online, hoping for action. The payment reset shows that their voices have been heard. It represents compassion turned into policy, proof that advocacy matters and that positive change is still possible even within a complex system like Social Security. This reform also strengthens public faith in government institutions. Many people had begun to feel disconnected, believing that no one was paying attention to the daily struggles of seniors and disabled individuals. By implementing this reset, the government is sending a clear message that it is listening and responding. When people see their payments increase and realize it's not a one-time gesture but a permanent improvement, that trust begins to rebuild. The reset further includes protections for future generations. Younger workers who will one day rely on Social Security can now expect a more adaptable and financially stable system. The new model ensures that payments will adjust automatically to future economic changes, preventing future retirees from facing the same financial gaps that today's seniors experienced. It's not just a reform for the present, it's an investment in the future of American security. Behind the fixed increase lies an upgraded funding structure that improves how Social Security handles reserves. The new formula redirects a portion of recovered overpayments, administrative savings, and investment adjustments directly into the benefit fund. This means that the system's strength comes not from borrowing or deficit expansion, but from smarter, more efficient management. It's a win for both fiscal responsibility and social justice. There's also a built-in safeguard in the new reset system. If inflation suddenly spikes or major economic shocks occur, the formula can trigger additional automatic adjustments without waiting for Congress or administrative delays. That means beneficiaries won't be left waiting months or years for lawmakers to act. Their payments will adjust faster to protect them in real time. This responsiveness makes the Social Security system more flexible than ever before. Community response to this announcement has been overwhelmingly positive. Advocacy organizations, veteran groups, and disability rights associations have celebrated the reform as a historic win. They view it as proof that consistent advocacy and public pressure can lead to tangible results. For individuals who have spent decades fighting for fair treatment, this moment feels like long-awaited validation. The reset also simplifies eligibility checks for SSI recipients. Previously, minor fluctuations in income could trigger reviews or payment suspensions, creating stress and confusion. Under the new rules, income thresholds are slightly higher and more stable, allowing recipients to maintain benefits without constant interruptions. This makes the program more humane and user-friendly, which has been a top priority for advocates. As the months progress, Social Security offices across the country will continue updating their systems to reflect the new standard. Beneficiaries can expect improved accuracy in deposits and faster resolution times for any pending claims. The modernization of digital tools means fewer paperwork delays and fewer human errors, creating a smoother experience overall. Financial experts say that this reform is not only necessary but sustainable. By investing in people now, the government reduces future crises caused by poverty and health deterioration. Seniors who can afford healthy food and medication today are less likely to need emergency interventions later. That saves billions in future healthcare and social costs, proving that compassion and practicality can work hand in hand. Another important aspect is how this reset interacts with other benefits like SNAP, Medicaid, and housing assistance. The fixed increase was designed carefully so that the added income would not automatically disqualify people from these programs. Instead, updated coordination rules ensure that seniors and disabled individuals can keep their support while enjoying the new higher baseline. It's a fair balance that avoids punishing people for receiving what they deserve. Over the next year, reports will continue to measure the success of this program. Early data already shows that financial stress among older adults has begun to decline. With more reliable monthly income, seniors can pay their bills on time, reduce debt, and improve credit standing. The result is a quieter kind of economic stability that spreads throughout communities. The most powerful part of this reform is what it symbolizes. It shows that a nation's strength is not measured only by its economy, but by how it treats its most vulnerable citizens. The fixed increase proves that even in times of uncertainty, progress can be made when leaders listen and act. It sends a message of hope to every senior, every disabled worker, and every caregiver who has struggled to make ends meet. As more payments roll out under this new system, the difference will become clear. The relief is real. The improvement is lasting. And the promise of Social Security, that no American should face old age or disability alone, is being renewed in the most meaningful way possible. For those who have waited years for this change, it marks not just a policy update, but a restoration of faith. Every deposit, every increase, every letter confirming the new rate is a reminder that persistence pays off. This is what fairness looks like in action. In closing, the SSI and SSDI payment reset is not simply a financial adjustment, it is a moral correction. It restores dignity to millions who have carried this country through their labor, their service, and their courage. It transforms frustration into relief, uncertainty into stability, and hardship into hope. As this fixed increase continues to take effect, it will remind every American that fairness is not a luxury, it is a right. This is the beginning of a stronger, more compassionate Social Security system that truly protects the people it was built for. Seniors can breathe easier, disabled individuals can plan their futures with greater confidence, and families across the nation can stand on a foundation that is finally steady and fair. The reset has been activated, the increase is real, and the change it brings will shape lives for years to come.